description towards like my therapy business, let's say, I've asked like how to describe it better because I don't know how to type all that. Like that's a lot of description.
Got it. And then how'd you find it?
I don't remember. I believe some girl referred it to me.
Okay, so funny story, right? A couple of days ago, I was with a friend and, well, a girl, and she asked ChatGPT if I was a good candidate for a husband. Now, funny enough, it told her in verbatim, he's a very nice guy, but based off my calculations of online rhetoric, he's not someone that's going to commit.
Yeah, don't trust that.
And I was like, yo,
You what?
this is crazy because that is correct. But what's more scary is that it's becoming the new meta for girls to ask questions instead of men. So instead of asking men, they'll ask ChatGPT.
Yeah, for sure.
About
Yeah.
us.
And then the other part is, so I had a girl last night do the same thing, but she asked my astrological sign and whatever, and then just wrote all these things. And now I'm not going to say whether it was right or not. It wasn't, but for the date, I was like, oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
That you figured that out using ChatGPT.
amazing.
It's pretty incredible. Most people don't realize how much you could use it for. They have no idea. And I'm a Perplexity guy more than ChatGPT, but I mean it's absolutely incredible. And then all of you who guys, when you do Google searches, you guys notice the first thing that comes up is Gemini.
Yes.
Gemini will do so now Google is essentially an AI prompt. ChatGPT is number 1, Gemini is number 2, Perplexity is number 3, and I believe Grok is number 4, and it's catching up pretty fast.
It's gonna kill Google too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely kill Google.
Bro, use it at all or not?
As a search, I tend we use it for different things. When we do Perplexity, we use it to pick up research and stats and stuff like that for the shows. If I need something very specific for the book or something like that, then I'll rely on Perplexity. He kind of got me into Perplexity.
Yeah.
I have been using mostly AI for like graphics and for artistic kind of things. So like for thumbnails and things like that. So I've been using primarily Midjourney, and then I've been using a couple of other applications. I think one of them is called Kala or something like that for animations now. So I'm really into the more hyper realistic stuff. Like I could actually take your face and like you could be shaking hands with the Pope or something.
Yeah.
Like
Oh
that.
no.
I mean,
we seen
what's
it
that?
on
What's that
our
called?
chat
Glint?
as well.
Glint. What's the name of that app? There's one. So a friend of mine, he has this picture of him with 2 girls, and then he shows it to me, and then the girls just start making out with each other and making out with him, and it looks completely real.
Yeah.
And it's just some app. What is it? It starts with a G. I forgot what it's called.
Yeah.
And then there's Midjourney. There's these
Midjourney is
new-
mostly static images,
Yeah.
and you take the static images from Midjourney, and then you can animate them in another AI program.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, so I think take it away. First question for ladies.
Ladies, I just some demographic questions. I'm curious. This is one that always kind of catches people off guard. So what we're going to do is just ask some questions, and we're going to use ChatGPT's voice mode. Have you guys used that before? Have you guys ever used the voice mode? You have a conversation with it? You never tried this before?
I tried talking to it, but to tell it only like what to type, but it didn't work for me.
It
So
didn't?
I didn't have like a conversation. with
Okay,
that.
cool. So we'll try. We'll just do this here real quick. And so my first question to you guys is, what do you think the average number of sexual partners a man has in the United States? What do you think? How many?
69.
69? What do you think?
Very good.
Like 19, 29.
19 to 29?
I say 10.
10?
40?
40? What do you think?
7.
7? What do you think?
At once?
At once, yes. That's
At once?
All together.
Like 5?
What's the average number of sexual partners a man has in the United States? I don't know if we have a signal to. Here we go. Keep going.
The average number of sexual partners for a man in the United States is typically reported to be around 6 to 7 over a lifetime, according to various surveys. Of course, this number can vary depending on the study and the population surveyed.
What if they're an OnlyFans model in Miami?
For OnlyFans models or people in similar industries, the average number of sexual partners can be significantly higher, but it really varies a lot from person to person. There isn't a specific average for that group, especially since lifestyle, personal choices, and professional boundaries can vary widely.
Average number of sexual partners. Well, actually, let's ask them. For a woman, what do you think it is? Average number of sexual partners for a woman.
We'll start here.
By the way, hold on. For those of you who have the high number, are you surprised by 6 to 7?
For guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little.
Are you surprised by 6 to 7?
Yeah.
Why are you surprised?
I thought it'd be higher, honestly.
Anybody else? that number 6 to 7 seems. You guys actually got
Well,
the right
she
number.
called it correct.
Yeah.
Actually.
Why do you think that is?
Well,
Why do you think your perception is that it's so much higher than it actually is?
well, clearly I'm talking to the wrong dudes,
Okay.
but the
Or the right dudes, depending.
But I was, can I chime in?
Yeah.
I would say a lot of guys lie about their body counts, honestly. So that's a lot
But
of
they're
guys.
not gonna. They're generally gonna lie up.
Yeah, exactly. So to us, they're gonna lie up to
Right.
us, and they're saying 20 to 30 or
They
whatever.
said 7, 6 or 7.
But
It's
if
the
on
average.
average, so I would understand why women would be surprised that it's actually so low because so many
Oh,
men
I see what
lie.
you're saying.
Yes, I want to chime in why I think it's surprising that
Yeah.
on average, well, I know the truth. I know a lot of men don't got it like that. But if you would ask me maybe a couple years ago, most men all lie about their body count. They're going to tell you 20, 30, 40, 50. So I understand that you could be a little surprised that it's actually much lower than what the men are saying.
How many guys tell you their body count though?
I've had men tell me, but I just assume they're all lying anyway. Like they ask me for what's yours? I'm like, well, what's yours? They're like, 40, 50. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Makes sense.
Have you ever asked a guy what his body count is?
I have several times.
Yeah. What prompted you to do that?
Just random conversation, miscellaneous talk. Nothing like I'm not judging you, whatever.
It
We're
wasn't
just
like a list of things you have to cover before.
no,
okay.
just miscellaneous talk. Like, men, women perspective talks, and we'll say, what's your body count? Your body count doesn't matter. Da 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 da.
I think it's cringe, man. No one's gonna tell you the actual truth.
Yeah.
But that's why I say no one really
I
tells
do.
you the truth. Men always lie up.
I did.
So
I don't remember.
but the answer. I
I'm
mean, there's still a
honest.
big difference between like 69 and 7, right? Even if we're lying, it's a pretty big difference, right? So
Yeah.
why do you think your number was so high? Why do you think you guesstimated that men had so many sexual partners?
She just
I
wants
guess
to
I
say
had more
69.
faith in men.
You had more faith in men.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna propose a different scenario. Okay, so there's actually some studies. If you guys want to look these up, it's gender stereotypes and dehumanization. So what happens is human beings throughout history, when we saw people that we found to be very unattractive, humans dehumanize them. Women actually dehumanize them more, and the reason why. A lot of women. So basically, when a man sees an unattractive woman, he feels annoyance. In general, I'm generalizing a lot.
Yeah.
When women see unattractive men, they see invisibility. They don't see them at all. They totally dehumanize them. And the reason why you thought that number was so high is because you're only counting men you've had sex with or men you find attractive, and you probably don't think about the guy who handed you the Chick-fil-A. You don't think about the guy who your cashier at Walmart, how many sexual partners. How can the guy who's the assistant manager at Walmart have 69 sexual partners? Like where could he fit that in?
That's really true. That's really true.
on his Walmart salary.
On his one more salary.
But that's the point I'm trying to make is like a lot of times one of the things is women do not. It's not that you guys think they're ugly. You don't fucking see them.
Yeah.
They are totally invisible to you, and the data backs it up. And men, we do something similar, but it's not to the same extent that women do. And so because of that, that's why generally when we ask women, their numbers are higher because you only see Steve the male stripper, Victor the VIP host, and Brock the bartender. Those are the only guys you see because they're attractive to you for some reason. And if we only counted those guys, we probably are going to see a higher body count. But if we count all guys, because that's the thing, like when we have these discussions, women are like, men cheat all the time. Like, no. These top 20% of men cheat more than the rest, but there's a good 80% of men who couldn't cheat if their life depended on it. And you guys forget that often because again, you don't see them. Like they don't even. Again, I ask, if I ask a girl, it's like, hey, what do you think about dating that mailman over there? And I was like, who are you talking about? The mailman. It's like, well, you mean the guy behind the mailman? No, the mailman. Like they don't consider the mailman having a penis.
Furniture.
Like he's just furniture. He's an inanimate object.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing that happens, and it's just a function of psychology.
Very good point.
So I'm gonna go to Walmart then.
Change his life.
All right, the average number of sexual partners a woman would have.
A woman? 40.
40. There we go. That's about right. Yeah. 40.
I think demographics
lucky
matter too,
number.
because maybe the average woman in South Florida is going to be different than the average woman in Iowa.
For sure.
So,
Just give us your opinion.
my opinion, to meet in the middle somewhere, maybe 5.
5. What do you think?
Somewhere like 10 to 20.
Okay, 10 to 20, we think.
9.
9.
Yeah, like 12 to 20.
12 to 20.
It's a big gap.
69.
Okay. For you?
Like, you're talking about having sexual partners at once, like
No.
not
In
once
a
at the same
lifetime.
time.
In a lifetime.
Oh, in a lifetime? It could range from like 20 to like the rest of the numbers.
What's the average number of sexual partners a woman has in the United States?
She's funny.
On average, women in the United States report having around 4 to 5 sexual partners over their lifetime, according to various surveys. Just like with
Sorry.
Keep going. ChatGPT, keep going.
He tuned out.
Of course, it's important to note that these averages are just that, averages. Individual experiences can differ greatly based on personal choices, cultural influences, and lifestyle factors. Also, self-reported data can sometimes be influenced by social expectations or personal biases.
Also, we got added blowjobs.
What if they are a woman who lives in South Florida, specifically Brickell, or they live in South Beach? What would their average sexual partners be? Would it be higher or lower?
Living in areas like Brickell or South Beach, which have vibrant nightlife and a more cosmopolitan lifestyle, might correlate with having more sexual partners on average. However, it's still very individual and depends on personal choices and lifestyle. There's no specific data that quantifies this difference, but it's reasonable to assume the average could be higher in such social and dynamic environments.
I love how they're like trying to like throw caveats.
Yeah,
in there, like, well, we shouldn't judge, so let's just like there are more bitches and hoes in Prickle. Yes,
So
there are.
This is a great point for those of you who are watching and you want to use AI. Right now, there's a sprinkle of wokeness in all 4 of those platforms. We'll talk about DeepSeek too. That we'll put them in there.
Yeah.
The most woke is Gemini. Gemini won't even approach some questions that you ask that are political.
Yeah.
The least woke is Grok. It's owned by Elon Musk, is what you would expect. So if you guys are doing that, so often when we have it right, so I use it for copywriting, I'll have it and it will say stuff that is extremely woke, progressive, extremely like men need to go to therapy and consent, deal with everyone's consent, all this shit, and make sure you consider everyone's feelings, things that I would never say in an email. It will put that into the email almost to cover its own ass. So you guys have to understand that you're not going to have it just write an email for you, write copy, or do anything. You need, a lot of times you're going to have to subtract the end part where it sort of bloviates and it splits the middle.
I'll tell you something really interesting because I do all of the thumbnails for Access Vegas and for my own stuff, right? And when we're doing the Access Vegas thumbnails, we usually feature the girls on like 4, 5, 10 girls, whatever we have. So I have to go onto their Instagrams and I pull whatever shot that looks good that's I thought would work for the thumbnail. If I'm working in Adobe Photoshop right now, there is an AI element that will do auto generation. So if you want to like generate a background or if you want to put something else in there, it will auto generate through AI imagining it, right?
Yeah.
If it detects that the chick is in a bikini or if she's in like lingerie or something like that, and I'm just trying to add background. I'm not even trying to mess with the photo itself. I'm just trying to add a little bit of extra background so it fits in the frame, right? It won't do it. It will say, this violates the usage of this particular filter or whatever it is, and so you have to really kind of nudge it over so it's like right on the edge of where you want to like auto generate a little bit more space in the thing. But it will literally censor what you're doing. It won't if you're trying to do something it thinks is pornographic, it won't do it.
Yeah, if you go on Grok right now and you say create an image of me with a bunch of hot chicks, it'll actually go down to where it gets about their boobs and it'll stop the image. It'll censor itself.
So my concern with ChatGPT and all these AI apps is that it's becoming the new like person to talk to.
Yes.
No longer is it like, okay, I'm going to see my friend. I'm just going to say, hey, I have an issue. Let me just ask it real quick for a solution. Is that a concern for you guys at all?
Yeah, it's concern for me because of the people who run these AI chatbots they're called AI language models. Because they're so politically progressive, they'll say things that are insane, and it's just like you watch that show The Last of Us. Anybody, you guys watch it? If you watch the first video game, second video game is unbelievably woke. Like basically, the main 3 characters in the second video game are a trans boy, a lesbian girl, and a butch boy, and they kill the main like a heterosexual male character at the beginning of the second video game.
Damn.
And when they do so, it's like complete total pandering. Like it's not a creative choice. And the game sold about like 1/4 as many. The second game sold about as many a quarter as the first game. The answer is obvious. If you read the reviews, the first game got a 10, the second one got a 5.5. Everyone said the same thing. And you ask ChatGPT, it's like, is it possible that the incredible level of wokeness is the reason why the game sold fewer? And it can't answer that honestly. It can't answer honest questions about things like this that are obvious. It can't do that. And so that's the play. You can't take it into the deep water when it goes into stuff like that. But for any kind of reasoning, mathematics, any sort of geometry, astronomy, anything like that, or any kind of like the computational stuff, incredible, absolutely, just indispensable. For writing, copywriting in general, it's good, but you're going to have to take out some of the wokeness out of the way that it, and I say wokeness, I mean political correctness. Like there's certain things that it just won't let you do. And so you have to edit that. But I do think the thing that we all need to be not afraid of, but here's what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah.
Right now, I can investigate you using some of these AI models, right? I can
Don't trust him.
Right. And if I do so, like background checks, whatever, if I do that, what happens is it's only going to look for public information. It's going to protect your privacy. It won't scrape your Instagram, for instance. It will maybe look at your Twitter. It'll look at Reddit for like updates on you. We're going to get to a point where like the guys in the chatter got this correct. There's somebody's going to jailbreak one of these things, and it's going to start going past paywalls, and it's going to start going through paywalls and start doing tons of investigations on people. And when we get to that point, and it's going to be $20 a month, and literally you can find out anything about anybody. Okay, that's what I think is coming in the future. And then there's one other thing we have to think about. Our old passwords that are 8 digits long, that are just like basically our birthday and whatever the fuck. All those passwords are going, because of the computational power and the artificial intelligence that we have coming, all of those old passwords are going to get hacked.
Yeah.
You're going to have somebody on the dark web cracking through all of them, and then you're going to start, like what we see with the P. Diddy stuff right now, you're going to start to see every celebrity you've ever seen, every porn website they've ever been on, every time they sent like some DM to some other celebrity or some girl, all of it's going to come to light. I actually look... that's why I'm very open. Like, I'm not a perfect person. I've made mistakes. I'm open about it because I think every celebrity is about to, especially when we get into quantum computing. Holy shit, bro. We're going to start cracking every single code. And then when you see that, there's a website right now. I'm about to get in a lot of trouble for this. It's called PimEyes. Have you heard of this?
Yes.
PIMEYES.
Actually, when I had the issue with the fucking Chinese escort bitch, whatever.
Yeah.
Ling Ling.
MLD recommended to me to use PimEyes.
Yeah, I may have told MLD. I'm not sure, or MLD may have told me. But the thing is, it uses AI to go through and look for an image of that girl on every single adult website in the world, and it'll go through the fucking firewall. It'll go through the paywall and do so. And I've had several friends of mine be like, they'll tell me a story about a girl, and I'll reply to them, some clients, and I'll be like, that's clearly a prostitute. It's very easy for me to tell, and they don't believe me. And I have them use PimEyes, and very quickly they determine this girl was on these sugar daddy sites, like immediately, and stuff like that. So the point is, everything is going to come to the light here because of the additional computational power. And the other thing with ChatGPT and all these other things is, you guys know coders were nerdy people. They were nerdy guys who stayed inside and just drank Red Bulls and they would code for hours. Now I can write a day, 2 days, 5 days worth of code in Python by just having a back and forth with ChatGPT.
Yeah.
It can write this code at like infinite speed. And so what's happened now is, what you're going to see is the complexity increase, and people who have lower IQs are going to be able to just do incredible computational work because the AI, what the AI model is, it is not just that it's using all the computational power in the world. It's that it's also using it in a very simple way. I can stutter. I can sit there, blah, 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 and I can sit there and ask
you.
Let's go.
If you listen to like Ty Lopez, good friend of mine, he will talk to ChatGPT and he'll ask a question, and the question is 4.5 minutes long. He's asked questions before that were 8 minutes long, and ChatGPT remembers the entire thing and gives you a detailed answer. And so Perplexity, these different ones. I like Perplexity better. It does real-time scraping of the internet, so I like it better, and it also gives you citations. But like when you use those models, just so you guys understand, it's one of these things where we can be afraid of it and we can be worried about it. But if you don't learn how to adopt it now, you are cooked. You are deep shit. If you're a setter, can you imagine what is the point of an accountant in 10 years? Seriously.
No,
What is the point of an accountant? Right now, you're already putting your stuff in QuickBooks, and it's able to tell you
TurboTax, all that stuff.
TurboTax what your expenses are. Now, I feel bad for people in that. Accounting is just brute mathematics. What's going to happen to them and like all these other platforms, DM setters? Sorry, like that's going to be a problem. Any kind of text messaging, mass texting, all that's going to be turned over to AI.